There's nothing that wounds a person like adultery. It's the most intimate aspect of any relationship. You can have all kinds of relationships with everybody else, but you can't be sexual with everybody else. This is the only thing that separates a relationship between a husband and a wife. It's so private, it's so intimate. And when you take that and take it outside, you rip the insides of your spouse out. That's why I wrote that book, Devastation of Adultery. A few years into our marriage, I went to have one of our babies in 1996. I went to the US to have the baby. In the US, I had a dream. In the dream, I saw my husband with a lady. I couldn't see her face, but she was a member of our church. And the way they were is not a good way. And when I called him, I said, come on. I had this dream and I saw you with somebody in church, but I couldn't see the person's face. Are you having anything to do with anybody in church? He said, which type of question is that? If I did that, will you divorce me? Now, at that time, my mind did not let me think about his answer. And I said, how will you go from question to divorce? Waiting with that one now. Leave him. We went into other topics. I came back with that baby to find the worst scandal a woman can ever face. And it's not just a private woman. I'm a public figure, a reverend known across the nation. I met the scandal on the ground that indeed my husband had an affair with a girl in church and she was pregnant. Hey! I died. I died in many ways that I can't explain to you. My heart was broken in pieces. I began to scream. I was screaming and I realized, because that day as I came back with the new baby, we were living in an estate then. We hadn't built our house. So all the women in the estate came with white powder. They sang all those songs, rub me powder. We don't do that in the north. I found it very strange. I'm from Kaduna State. We already do powder. They came and rubbed me and the baby powder were white. They sang, brought yam, brought this, and they went back to their houses. When I began to scream in the night, I was now afraid, those women will hear me screaming. They will think baby don't die. They will run in here. What will I tell them? This shameful matter. So I put a pillow in my mouth and I was screaming into the pillow. The shock was too much. I shut down for weeks. I couldn't breastfeed that child. I got angry at the child because of her dad. Thank God my mother was around. My mother was feeding that child, caring for that child. My life stopped. Then shame came in waves. Shame was like a toga I was wearing every day. I couldn't leave my house. I was too afraid to go out, too ashamed. I couldn't bear my husband even greeting me. Bitterness settled in my soul. You can't even express those levels. Don't do that to your spouse. Male or female, don't do that to your spouse. But now the men are them, they waka pass. Stop it. It's not just that you dishonor God. You wound a human being mortally. I don't know if I ever got back to fully trusting my husband again. Every time he goes out, I go to think, That's when being come out that time. Tell me, in a church, and they go in branch. Who knows where he will branch now? It's terrible to make somebody live like that. It takes God to heal that kind of a mind after that kind of betrayal. Don't do that. Don't do that. And a child was born. Absolutely, a child was born. Oh, I prayed, sir. I said, Lord, let that child die in her stomach. But God doesn't answer those kind of prayers. The prayers are coming from a place of pain. And pain doesn't always express the will of God. Pain lies. Let her die. Let the child die in her womb. They did not die. Child was born and God said to me one more thing. It was God that told me to stay in the marriage. I don't pack my load. Now waiting now. Who the man be? What do you get? And they go. And God said, no, you will not go. You stay here. Second level of dying. I said, God, you will not let me go. He said, no, I will not let you go. You stay here. I will bless you here. I said, I will stay, but I will never forgive. God said, then there's no need to stay. Be going. You have to forgive. Oh my God, the journey of forgiveness. Please let me say this. You are in a relationship. Forgiveness is not an event. It's a process. There are some things you can forgive instantly, but there are things that take time. God knows that. So you give yourself the time to forgive. Don't let them tell you that rubbish, forgive and forget. We can forgive, but we can't forget. Only God forgives and forgets. We don't have that quality. You will remember. But how you know your forgiveness is complete is when you remember and there's no pain. Then you know, the cycle is complete. I'm done. Forgiveness is a process. And it's not okay if you are the offender to demand instant forgiveness. You can't do that. You don't know the level of pain you have caused. So don't be dictating to that. That's what happened just since last week. Now you still hold for your mind. For your mind now since last week. For the wounded, it's still fresh. A woman committed adultery. They came to my office for marital counseling. And the man was expressing his pain. Then I turned to her and I said, Madam, what up? And she said, well, I've already repented before the Lord. Lord has forgiven me. He needs to get over it already. Hey, my eye just popped like I said. So I said to the man, sir, please, can you excuse me? Can you go outside? He went out. I said, how old are you? He told me her age. I said, my first 3 children are older than you. I said, if I was your mother today, I would have slapped your mouth out of alignment. How dare you? How dare you wound a man like that and then say to him he needs to get over it? Are you okay? As a counselor, you are not supposed to vex or show emotion. That day I come out counselor cap. I said, I lie. I know they do counselor today. This girl is mad. If I will slap you, silly. Ever say that in his presence again? Who are you to measure his pain and tell him when he should pass? Don't have affairs, please. Stick to the one God gave you and be an honest man. Another day, when we're talking about sexuality, I'll explain to you the implication of some of the things that you're doing and you think is fun. They've sold you a lie. A man cannot stay. The nature of men. They cannot stay with one woman. Nature of who? In whose nature were you created? Is God an adulterer? So where did you buy that nature from? It's the nature of man, never to stay with one woman. Did God create Adam and Eve and Eveliana? Tell me man cannot stay with one woman. Excuse me? Yeah, because that second one is always an evil one. So she's Eveliana.
Wow, what a journey we've just been on together in this video. We believe with all our hearts that it's not by accident that you found yourself here today on the Right Choice YouTube channel. Every moment you've spent with us has been part of something bigger, a divine arrangement, a seed of inspiration, encouragement, and transformation planted into your heart for such a time as this. From myself and the entire Right Choice family, we want to pause and say a massive thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Thank you for showing up, engaging, and making this community what it is. You are the reason this platform exists. Every view, every comment, every share, every subscription, it means more than you could ever imagine. It tells us that the message is reaching real people, touching real lives, and making a real difference. If today's content has blessed you in any way, if it has lifted your spirit, encouraged your faith, stirred your mind to think differently, or even simply reminded you that you're not alone in your journey, please take a moment to like this video. That simple click is your way of saying, yes, this mattered to me, and it helps this message reach even further. Then, go ahead and share it, send it to a friend, a family member, a colleague, or post it on your social media pages. You never know who might need this exact encouragement today. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Right Choice channel and turn on your notifications, because we have so much more in store for you. But it doesn't end here. We want this to be a conversation, not just a broadcast. So, we invite you to head down to the comments section and share your heart with us. What was your key takeaway from this video?